Welcome to 40 Below Zero, an international podcast about life with invisible illnesses, hosted by two guys living with multiple sclerosis. Coming to you from the Keystone State of Pennsylvania, I'm your co-host Nix, and with me on this ride is Terry, a Londoner who calls Ontario home. We're so happy you're here with us as we continue to try and normalize a life that is anything but. So let's get into it. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show, your favorite MS-based podcast. I'm here with Terry, hanging out as always.
What's up?
It's been a bit of a rough week. Time just disappeared for me this week, man. I opened my eyes and it was Friday, and I don't know how I got here.
Yeah, it's been a rough 2 weeks for me, man.
Do you want to?
Yes, I do.
You want to talk about that? Okay, well,
We were going to
let's
just
talk
come
about
on here and chat, you and I. We're just going to hang out. And then I'm like, no, we need to record this. So,
Okay.
yeah, first of all, my dog that died in 2021, right as
Mhm.
COVID started, she was with me before I was in a wheelchair. So I was, I had her, I still had MS, but I didn't think I was going to be in a wheelchair.
Right.
And she's a Rottie Shepherd, dude, the most gentle dog ever. And as I progressed into the chair, she saw it. You know what I mean? I don't know what to say. I know she's not a child, she's a dog, but she
Yeah,
saw
but
it,
they get it.
dude. Like, and I don't talk about this publicly because I know everybody has their dog or their pet that means so much to them. So I don't want to be like, my dog died, and then you're like, well, so did mine. And I'm like,
I would.
yeah,
First of all, who do you think I am, Terry?
not you, bro, not you, but
You're
because
projecting onto me.
dude, yeah, okay. But I have said my dog died, and someone did that comment to me, so
Wow.
it's stuck. Not in a rude way, but like, yeah, I get it, mine too. And I'm like, and then I realized everybody's dog is important to them. Why am I acting like I'm different? And then I get into this victim thing where like, you don't understand. I'm in a chair. This dog was my emotional buddy, all the time with me, all the time, 24/7. I brought her
Mhm.
everywhere. And then, and whatever. So, and
Now,
she became blind a year before she died.
oh
So
wow.
that was crazy. But the thing is, she didn't even phase the fact that she went blind. It was just
Huh.
humans
Just
around her going, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." She didn't care, dude. Her nose overpowered everything. Like,
now, is she the one in your viral reel short TikTok where she
y-
pulls you out of the chair?
yeah. That's the
Okay.
one. And it's so funny because the day we put her down, that TikTok video went viral. And when I say viral, I mean it hit 1 million. It's not 10
That's
million, not
crazy.
30 million.
Yeah, but that's a
Yeah,
million more than
dude,
anything I've ever done.
the amount of comments that I got from that it saved me because when she passed away, all these comments I got to read for the next 4 days. It was crazy. And we're talking about crazy comments like, oh, that dog should be put down. I'm like, my dog's dead. I didn't say anything. I just laughed because, no one knows. So that
It
was
would have been hilarious though if you responded with, "I agree, it happened yesterday."
I
They would have
just
been like, "What?" Because you said so, I took action on the comments.
people were like, "That's no support animal. That's a broken dog or whatever." I was like,
Jeez.
so many things, but it was funny. The comments make it funnier, right? So,
Yeah, but people need to like mind their own business.
so what happened to me a week ago? This is sad. I'm going to say this monotone. I'm not going to get emotional. Honestly, the day it happened, I cried so much more than Jade, my dog. I don't
Mhm.
know because of the way it happened. And I was so bad, bro. I didn't even want to talk to you for a few days because my eyes were
I
like
know.
all fucked up. Um, so my Delilah, the little kitten, she was only 3.5 years old. And
Wow.
that's what kills me, bro, because I feel like I
Sure.
have failed her. And and the hardest part, bro, is a week before I had her in my lap and I looked at her and I had this moment with her where I said, I got you. You're here forever. Like be comfortable. There's nothing that's gonna ever hurt you. And I remember that. That's what hurts me the most. I'm like, I just anyway, so on Thursday morning I woke up and I have a routine with my two cats. They're the best. They're my life, bro. And
Hmm.
and people who have cats, they get it. They get it. So like
Yeah.
So I woke up and my cat, and remember, this is causing me stress with my MS, and I have my foot issue. So, but everything was put to the side, right? So I woke up and I saw a little bit of puke spots, but the puke wasn't puke. It was like bile, clear
Mm-hmm.
bile. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I saw four different spots. So I'm like, is she trying to hack a hairball? What the hell's going on? So I kind of, I don't, I'm going to be honest, I kind of ignored it. What
Sure.
everyone else does, let's see what happens later in the day. Let's see, make sure she eats. And I saw the litter box. She peed and she pooed. So I'm like, okay, everything's okay. Let's just wait. Let's not overreact. I'm an overreactor, bro. So uh, that day went on, and at night I mentioned it to Katrina. I'm like, yo, Delilah didn't eat anything today. She's sick. And she's like, oh no. And so the next day was a Friday. I left it for another day, bro, because she was still moving around. She wasn't lethargic. I could see, I didn't want to, I hate bringing her to the vet because I feel like that traumatizes unless you bring a vet over to your home. I know I'm really sensitive with that shit. It's like, okay, so waited till Saturday, bro. And then Katrina said we should take her to a vet. I'm like, well, now we have to take her to an emergency vet, and you know how much those cost, bro.
Oh yeah.
I laugh. I say the emergency vets or the vet system in Canada is like the medical system in the States because you got to
Yeah.
pay that shit if you don't have insurance, dude. And they're making, I don't want to say they make you feel guilty, but it's their job to save animals. So they're not going to
Yeah.
say, just put your dog down or put your cat.
Yeah.
So we brought her to the emergency vet. I'm going to try to get to the story without boring anyone. So we went to the emergency vet. I know this is who I am, right? I always go anyway. So we went to the emergency vet, and I didn't go because my boots, I haven't transferred into a car yet. I didn't
Okay.
I was like, what are we going to do? And Katrina's like, I'll take her, and it's her cat too. Like we're the only she's the only
Right.
other person in the world that would be able to touch, I would be so comfortable with to to take Delilah because she's the one that took care of Jade for the last year that she was blind. If it wasn't for her, man, I that's another story for another day. So took her to the emergency vet. They asked her. This is what they do. They're like, here's the price list for an X-ray, blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah. What do you want to do? And she's like, oh my god. First of all, she's like, and I tell her like, whatever, we're paying for it. Let's do it. So she's looking at it and she's like, what do you recommend? And then the vet's like, well, because she looks like her abdominal area is swollen. So let's do an X-ray. Let's do blood work. That should be the minimal. So yeah, let's do it. So we did it, and then let me tell you how this went. Katrina calls me on the phone, and she's like, "Okay, I'm here. We have the blood work. The doctor's here. He's about to talk to us." So she puts me on speakerphone, and he goes, "All right. So the blood work. The blood work is all out of whack. There's some things I can't even read." Dude, right away, my mind goes to the worst. Like, oh, my cat's dying. He goes, the blood work is out of whack. There's something going on. Da, 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 da. So then I'm like, I'm still there on the phone listening, and I'm just quiet. And then he goes, and now I got to show you something on the X-ray. When he said
Oh
that, I automatically knew there's something wrong. So
yeah.
I spazzed and I said, Katrina, call me after. I can't hear this right now. Dude, I was dying. I was inside like my cat. Dude, this is my baby.
Yeah.
So all he wanted to show, so we paid. So since we paid for this stuff, no matter what or how bad or how good she is, he's going to go through everything in detail. So it wasn't anything
Sure.
bad with the x-ray. He was just saying, look, there's a spot here. It looks like a liver trauma issue.
Mm. Okay.
So I'm like, what does that mean? Because she told me after. He goes, liver trauma. It could just trauma to the liver. It could have been smacked. I'm like, yo, I didn't kick my cat. I'm in a wheelchair. I can't even move my feet. She's like, relax. It's not about that. I'm like, what the hell is trauma? And then I was thinking the cats chase each other in the middle of the night, and maybe they banged into the wall. Maybe they jumped halfway on a tree and the thing smacked her in the rib. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So we bring her back home. the the doctor gave her 72 hours of medication in her system. So like she should be good for the next 3 days. So we brought her back home. Dude, she was lethargic.
Mm.
We brought her home. I'm like, okay, it's the medicine. It's the medicine that's in
Right.
her. She was lethargic, bro. She would just sit there. So Saturday, Sunday, at this point, I'm fucking done. My mind, I'm so depressed, bro. Looking at my baby. So on Monday, uh, we take her to the regular vet and say, listen, this is what happened. We took her on Saturday. Da, 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 da. This is what's going on. What the hell's going on? So they did another blood work and X-ray, and then
Of
that's
course.
when she compared it to the emergency vet blood work, and she said, "Whoa." And then they realized that she's in so much pain, and the pain is screwing up the blood work.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And she ingested something. They don't know what happened, but she ingested something. So now you know where I go with that, right? I blame myself.
Sure.
What did
Of
she
course.
eat? Dude, my
What did I
place,
leave out? What the,
and I'm not like that, right? But it doesn't matter. Now I'm going through every little detail of everything, and I'm thinking I killed her. I. And anyway, she
that's natural,
so
you know?
Monday we brought her back from the vet, and she would just sit down and stare at the wall. She was good, her, but if I went to Lila, she wouldn't look at me. It was just so
Mhm.
depressing, bro. And that whole day, and they said make your decision what you want to do, because if you go to the hospital, it's going to cost this much for a week. Dude, we already spent
Right.
$2,000. And the emergency vet, I already spent 1,500, and then this vet 900. But I'm not questioning it. I'm like, dude, just get my cat okay, you know.
Yeah, right.
So then the next day we brought her in. They knew that we were putting her down. They were so good. They were so good. I mean, they were just very sympathetic with me and whatever. So
Yeah, that's I'll tell you what, that's something that well, first of all, let me not gloss over the fact that I'm really sorry you had to go through all that. Um, but I don't think it gets enough credit just how compassionate veterinary staff, like the vet techs and the nurses and the doctors, when you get to that point,
they were
are.
so good.
Yeah, I've never, I've had a few animals um, that we've had to say goodbye to, and yeah, when it gets to that point, they're just it's like a whole like a I don't want to say like a switch flips, but like all of a sudden it just becomes this whole other level of compassion. So they're compassionate, and then it's like way more than that. But yeah, I had a cat, similar story, and he disappeared for 3 days into the crawl space before we were finally able to get to him.
Oh
Um,
man,
we didn't know where he was. He had disappeared in the house somewhere. We were looking everywhere for like 3 days straight, leaving food out. He ended up getting into the attic crawl space, or not getting into, hiding out in the attic crawl space. And when we took him to the vet, turns out he had a mass that was not operable. And again, he was young. He was like 4. So I get
that's
it.
that's what killed me, man. The three
Yeah.
and a half. I'm like, what did I? But she did the
But
same thing. She was hiding in places, and
yeah,
I know that's what they do when they're not in a good place. Dude, Katrina was there. I gotta like I couldn't do it on my own, man. She was there,
sure.
and she was bawling, and I'm like, didn't isn't this your fourth, fifth cat? And she's like,
Yeah, that don't matter.
it don't you get used to it, dude?
Never.
I mean, I bawled more for her than I did for Jade. You know why? Because Jade was blind for a whole year. I was like grieving
Right.
her, like what's wrong with her. And anyway, and then this one within 4 days, man. And then friends of mine are like, hey, how's Delilah? And I'm like, how do I answer this? I'm like, she's no longer with us.
Yeah.
And then I want to talk about it because I feel like traumatized, dude. 4 days, she's gone. And I still see her, bro, when I'm here. I know everyone goes through this with their pets. I still see her. Like
Hmm.
I imagine her on that thing where she's on her back. And I still imagine it. It's like, whoa. It's like, so I'm good, whatever. And I got to give credit to my Mark, my trainer, dude. This guy, because his dog passed away, was it not even less than a year ago. So he knows. We all know. We all know.
Hmm.
We all know.
It's one of those things. They're not supposed to outlive us,
Mm,
you know, but it sucks. We know that going into it. And if you rescue an animal, if you especially if you don't know the backstory, from where they came from or anything like that, you're rolling the dice as far as health goes.
yeah.
But you gotta just take solace in the fact that the home that you provided for the time that she was there was the best life she could have had, or she.
And then in my head, I'm like, dude, everyone's gone through this. Why am I so special? Stop, shut up, Terry. Move on.
Yeah, but that doesn't.
You
But
know?
see, that's what you do. I mean, I don't mean to call you out, but that's what you do to yourself. You got to cut yourself a break, man. You're allowed to feel it. Just because everyone, you know, how many people wear what are you wearing? How many people wear red and gray shirts? Does it mean you're not allowed to wear a red and gray shirt?
I know what you're saying.
So like,
Well, it
just be
depends. I
just
mean,
be easy on yourself.
I hear you, bro.
Yeah.
I hear you. I'm good. I'm good at, whatever.
But there was a did you go to the regular vet on Monday?
Yes, that one I
Okay.
had to because I couldn't let her go on her own.
So let's talk about that for a second. How was getting there with your boot? Because
So,
you said you hadn't transferred. So
yeah, so we went beside the SUV, and then I'm like, okay, so we're gonna do this because I did stand on the boot because it's easier when you pump the air and all that stuff.
right.
But the boot gives me an extra 2 inches, so I'm not even when I stand, and it's weird. It
Okay.
it triggers a nerve, and I get spazzed. So when I did it, I stood up. It took me a couple times. I stood up, and she kind of like pushed me into the SUV.
Just kind of threw you in.
Yes, yes, yes. There's a story. There's
Just
so
a shove.
dude. When
Get
people
in there.
see, it's like she goes from the ass. She goes, oh, so I'm going head first into the SUV, and yeah. Then we got there. Getting out is not a problem, but
Right. You just kind of fall.
I went from the back. We parked in the back, and then I had to go from the front. Not a big deal.
Right.
And then after, not a big deal. They were so like, oh, I'm so sorry. They apologetic and everything. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But I
I
couldn't.
mean,
I didn't want to be there, man. Honestly, I wasn't strong enough. But
mm,
dude, it's not. It's just because she was so young. That's it. I was
yeah.
beating myself up over the age.
Sure. And I did the same thing when my guy Raja was his name. My cats are
Oh
were
yeah, that's from Aladdin, right?
Raja and Cleopatra. So king and queen,
I guess
because
so.
I believe Raja translates to king. So
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Yeah, but
king
that's
and
funny.
queen.
I love
Yep.
Aladdin. Aladdin's my favorite. I
And
know
he
I'm
was
not.
tiger striped too. He was cool.
Oh, cool, cool.
I always joke and said he's the best dog I ever had.
Yeah,
Because he acted way more like a dog than a cat.
that's cool. I get
He
it.
was always happy to see
What kind
me.
of breed?
That's the
What kind of breed was that? Yeah.
bro. I don't know. The
Nobody
kind I
knows.
found, the kind Kit found in the woods. I don't know. The breed that lives in little trees is kittens.
So,
No, down the street from us, there's a park, and it is a notorious dump spot for people's animals that they don't want anymore. There's
really,
yeah, they always find dogs and cats down there.
that sucks.
And Kit and her mom were taking a walk one day, and they just heard this meowing coming from a tree, and it turns out there was one up in the tree and one at the base of the tree. And she called me and said, "Bring the cat carrier." And I said, "No." And she's no. She said, "No, I need the cat carrier." And I said, "Well, no." I said, because I was like, I know what's going to happen. You're going to try to rescue these cats and they're going to be ours. And that's what happened, which is fine. I don't, send your hateful emails to 40below0 at
Dude, that
gmail.com.
shit bothers me because she'll do the same thing. She's driving. Oh my
Mhm.
God, a dog! I'm like, don't
Yeah.
fucking take the dog. Don't bring the dog.
Right.
We
Because you
got it.
just get stuck.
And she brought the dog home. This is like
Eh?
2 years ago. And anyway, we figured it out. We figured it out. Whatever.
Yeah, but the kids loved it. Love the animals. I love the animals.
Yeah,
And
of
we're going
course.
on. That was like 10 or 11 years ago, and we lost Raja at age like 4. So 4 or 5, 3, 4, 5, somewhere around there.
You had a dog named Jax.
Yeah, I did. We did. Yep.
So let me tell
He
you a
was
funny.
another rescue. Yeah.
Today, Mark said, uh, "At least you still got." Uh, uh, he was talking about my dog. She's like, "So I saw the picture because I put a story up, right, with
Mm.
just saying
Hmm.
too soon." He goes, "So I saw a story with Jax and Delilah." And I'm like thinking, I didn't want to correct him, right? So, because I've done this
Right.
to you too, bro, where I'm like,
Hmm.
so I'm like, oh, I'm getting it back because I've done it to you. So I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I let him go. And then again, he said, Jax and Delilah on that picture. I'm like, bro, but her name's not Jax. It's Jade. He's like, oh, yeah, yeah, Jade, Jade. Not a big deal. But I'm like, isn't that your dog's name? So he must have got that from an
Yeah,
episode and kind of just
he
kept
must
it,
have.
you know? Yeah.
So how is the foot?
So I told you there's a fracture, right? Yes.
Right.
It's healing. Like, I don't know, you know, it's whatever. What do you want me to say? It's good. It's good. It's
Um,
healing. I can't do that FES bike anymore. They're giving me a 5 week break. I'm a
sure.
little worried because I'm worried that I'm gonna
Uh,
lose my strength. Whatever, bro. It is what it is. It's okay.
yeah. I was gonna make the joke. I was gonna say, well, it sucks you have to be off your feet for 5 weeks, but
It's not funny, bro.
it's an inappropriate joke.
It's fine. Not funny. It's fine.
I'm gonna leave now. Just gonna
No,
show myself
no, no,
out.
no. You're funny. You're funny. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll kill you later. That's what, yeah, no. Never mind. That's what Middle Easterns do a lot. At a comedy club, they're like, oh, yes, yes, you make fun of me. Yes, yes, funny, funny. Don't worry. I talked to him after. I talked to him. Sorry.
Thanks for the heads up. If I'm ever on stage at a Middle Eastern comedy club.
Yeah. No. So that's it, man. That's all I got, you know. And how are you doing? You good?
Yeah,
Good.
it's
Enough about you. Let's talk about me again. So no, I'm just
the
joking.
Terry episode.
I'm joking. Yeah, I needed to
No,
get
not
this
my.
off my chest. So thank you, by the way.
I'm glad you did. Of course, man. Honestly, I got concerned. I had messaged a couple of times. You kind of went radio silent for a few days, which I understand, but it's kind of tough being I don't even know how many miles away and not being able to just like stop in and check on you.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
But well, I'm
I
glad you
see,
seem to be coming out the other side of it.
and I see you're busy a lot with this. And then there's a new website. Do you want to give it a shout out?
Yeah, it's so there's a lot of things that are changing up the hill up at Paris study up there, and one of the things is we had just some administrative stuff. Our website was coming up for
Renewal and all that.
yeah, renewal, and it turns out it was going to be like $600, and I'm like, that is unbelievable. So we got rid of that, and of course, we've had the same provider for apparently we've had the same provider for a number of years.
Okay.
I mean, it's nothing major. It's kind of boring stuff, but we ended up Kit ended up finding one that was way cheaper. So it's the parastudyinc.com is the new one.
Cool.
And it's so much easier to use. Like it's like we came out of the Stone Age. The website we had was like, I don't know, like one of the original styles of website. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the
Right.
mechanics of it were just so outdated. But anyway,
So
so yeah, parastudyinc.com.
parastudyinc.com.
.com. Yep. So we're still clicking along with that. If anybody wants to go check it out and come check us out, that'd be super cool. If you're close, there's always space. So that's what I've been
Come
up
pick
to.
me up first.
Yeah,
I'll come with you guys. Pick me up in your
nice.
chopper.
Yeah, I'll send the chopper. How's that?
Thanks, buddy. Thanks, buddy.
So that's what I got going on. Not much
Yeah.
else. Still kind of in a lull. I'm not digging the days getting shorter, but that's okay. We'll deal with it.
I don't mind.
Just turn the lights up brighter.
I don't mind. I like it
As
when it gets
as
dark
Terry would say, get out of here.
That's not nice. All right. I'll talk to you soon, bro.
All right.
Thank you for listening to me. I love this.
Of course.
Appreciate you.
Thanks everybody for sticking with us. It's been a little chaotic. We do appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with us as always. Come checking us out. Terry, I'll talk to you soon, man. Hopefully brighter days ahead, my friend.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. Talk to you soon. So check us out at 40belowzero.com. That's 4T-below-zero.com. Or feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Our email address is info@40belowzero.com. Our personal Instagram account are, for Nix, it's Nix_V713. Or for Terry, it's What's_MS. Awesome. Looking forward to hearing from you guys. We'll talk soon.